My name is Jade Rhoads. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and creator of Lilith Path Hypnotherapy and Lilith Path Regression Therapy. In this Lilith Path Hypnotherapy introduction, I will share how this offering came to be, the Lilith archetype within Lilith Path Hypnotherapy, and the structure of Lilith Path Hypnotherapy. I also want to note before we get started that my dog is here, as is tradition, and if you hear any snoring, snorting, any sort of creature sounds, that is my dear dog. All right, so Lilith Path Hypnotherapy. This offering came to be thanks to a plant. I was dieting Blue Lotus during my early hypnotherapy studies and received the very clear guidance to bring Lilith into my hypnotherapy practice in some way. And for those unfamiliar with what a sacred plant diet is, this is an intentional space created to cultivate a relationship with a plant, the plant that you're dieting. And it is a very deep relationship. There is a beautiful belief that when you diet a plant, that plant is with you forever, even beyond this lifetime. So through cultivating this relationship, you essentially gain a spirit guide. Returning to Blue Lotus's guidance to bring Lilith into my hypnotherapy practice, I didn't initially understand. I also didn't really know who Lilith was. I only knew of the patriarchal stereotype of her being an evil and demonic woman creature who was deemed bad. So I began researching, reading books and articles and meditating on her energy, setting her as my intention during sacred ceremony. She began appearing in my dreams. And in time, my understanding of her archetype widened and deepened. And the Lilith archetype that we work with within Lilith Path Hypnotherapy is the aspect of her that can guide you into a way of being where you no longer betray yourself. And why that is so important is because we live within a society where we are conditioned to consistently betray ourselves. The Lilith archetype we interact with here is for us to realize our sovereignty and to gain clarity on how to direct that sovereignty, to channel our sovereignty in ways that are for our own empowerment. We decide. And the structure of this offering was inspired by the presentation of Lilith in the book Mysteries of the Dark Moon, The Healing Power of the Dark Goddess by Hellenistic astrologer Demetra George. She speaks about how the Lilith placements in our natal chart, the asteroid Lilith, the dark moon Lilith, and the black moon Lilith, tell a story arc that she references to Lilith's experience in the Garden of Eden. And this provided the epiphany. I realized Lilith is to be brought into my hypnotherapy practice through astrology. And this was such an exciting revelation for me because I've been studying astrology since I was 12 years old. I remember the initial visceral knowing I felt when I first encountered it, and the symbols and the archetypes, and it just felt so alive to me. And it was the realization that I can blend hypnotherapy with astrology that created Lilith Path Hypnotherapy. So within Lilith Path Hypnotherapy, there are 3 tiers. There's initiation, rhythm, and depth. Initiation is the original, the foundation, the beginning. Everyone who ventures onto the Lilith path must first journey through initiation before exploring rhythm and depth. Lilith Path Hypnotherapy initiation is a 4-session journey. The first session you can feel is like your opening ceremony. It is your introduction to Lilith within Lilith Path Hypnotherapy. We explore her cosmology, her myth, her archetype, and review your specific Lilith natal chart placements and how they are speaking to you in this season of your life. We then end the session with a hypnotherapy journey that is for you to ground into and expand within this exploration, this path with confidence and inspiration. The remaining 3 sessions are each dedicated to the Lilith placements in the following order. The Second session is with asteroid Lilith, the initial recognition of sovereignty. The third session is journeying with the dark moon Lilith, initiating the cauldron of transformation. And the fourth session is with the black moon Lilith, who reflects the embodiment of your wholeness. And if you'd like more depth on these placements, I offer you my videos, Asteroid Lilith, an introduction, Dark Moon Lilith, an introduction, and Black Moon Lilith, an introduction. And within each of these sessions, we visit where she is in your chart, her house and sign placement, and any strong aspects to note. You'll receive a write-up prior to the session on that session-specific Lilith placement, as well as writing prompts to open the Lilith energy and to awaken awareness. We certainly speak about all of this. We visit all of this information in the session. However, this is my way of helping you to prepare. And we end the session with a hypnotherapy journey focusing on your preferred way of integrating and channeling your unique Lilith energy in the season of your life. And that is Lilith Path Hypnotherapy Initiation. For those who have journeyed Lilith Path Hypnotherapy previously, so prior to 2026, there have been a few significant changes. The first to name is that I no longer use the sidereal measurement system. I've come back home, so to speak, to the tropical measurements. And if you're curious as to why, I offer you my video preference, tropical measurements versus sidereal measurements. And the second update regards the Black Moon Lilith placement. We have two Black Moon Lilith placements. We have a Black Moon Lilith True and a Black Moon Lilith Mean. I was originally working with only the Black Moon Lilith True, but I've since integrated both Black Moon Lilith placements into Lilith Path Hypnotherapy. And the reason being is that we may resonate more deeply with one than the other, depending on the season of life that we're in. Or perhaps you may want to blend aspects from each. So for those who are interested in learning about my understanding of the differences between these two Black Moon Lilith placements, I offer you my video, Black Moon Lilith, True and Mean. And note that not everyone has these placements in separate houses and signs, but for those who do, you have this option. And lastly, I now offer an audio recording pertaining to your sessions. So the reason for this is for integration. It is important to listen to your journey every day until we next meet, so preferably twice a day, so once within that 30-minute window upon waking, and again in the 30-minute window before falling asleep for the day, so that you create new neural pathways and integrate the new way of being that you're calling in, that you're unfolding into. And this is also why I recommend at least 1 week in between Lilith sessions, as this will give you time to integrate. So Lilith Path Hypnotherapy Rhythm and Depth. These came into existence afterwards because those who completed the initiation asked, what is next? Is there anything after this? Will you create something? Therefore, I created Rhythm and Depth offerings within Lilith Path Hypnotherapy to help you stay connected with and continue deepening into this journey that you've begun. Lilith Path Hypnotherapy Rhythm is a 3-session offering that revisits the 3 Lilith placements in your natal chart: Asteroid Lilith, Dark Moon Lilith, and Black Moon Lilith. It's essentially another round of the initiation sessions, minus the introduction session. So this is where you can explore the different angles within your Lilith placements after you have familiarized yourself with their energies. And this is where you can deepen into the energy that you've opened within yourself. So perhaps you find yourself in a different season of life and you want to revisit Lilith from this new space that you're in, or perhaps you want to channel the energy of a specific area, in a specific area with a specific Lilith placement that you didn't focus on previously. So you decide the direction. And Lilith Path Hypnotherapy Depth is a single Lilith session where you focus on one Lilith placement, either Asteroid Lilith, Dark Moon Lilith, or Black Moon Lilith. So perhaps one placement resonated deeply with you, whether it felt edgy or really potent for you, or maybe you have Black Moon Lilith placements in different signs and houses, and you focused on one in particular during initiation and now you want to explore the other. Or maybe you simply feel called to revisit a Lilith placement and would like to do a journey with this particular energy to see what unfolds. There are infinite reasons why someone would want to deepen into a specific Lilith placement, and that is why Lilith Path Hypnotherapy Depth is here. You can learn more about Lilith Path Hypnotherapy at my site, jaderhoads.com. And if you have any questions or you want to book a consultation, you can email me at hello@jaderhoads.com. And to stay connected, you can find me on Instagram at Jade Rhoads and also here on YouTube, Jade Rhoads Hypnotherapy. I warmly invite you to subscribe. And with that, thank you for being here, and I wish you a beautiful day.